What's up everyone, we're back with another video. This one, I want to call what happens when you take the red pill, and I want you to really grasp one thing. I want you to live your life as if you had the highest respect possible for people. This isn't a video to belittle anyone. It's not a video meant to degrade women. The purpose of the movie is to basically educate people on what to look for when you see ladies exploiting their feminine traits to acquire what they want and how they will treat you afterwards. We discuss a variety of topics, including her hypergamy, the red pill, and the MGT0W ideology, but this particular tale serves as an illustration. Now I want you guys to comment on any incidents you shared that are similar to mine and to ask me any questions you might have. I'll tell you how to link that to me or link up with me. I would adore hearing from you and would adore learning about any recommendations you might have for my channel, for me, or for other men. Now, this incident occurs in my apartment complex where I currently reside. Prior to this one, the county in which I currently reside is supposed to have a divorce rate of 75%. Since there is a high divorce rate in our county, women who lived on the hill tend to fall into apartment complexes, where there can be 8 or 9 divorcees in a section in the apartment complex that I lived in. This is because many wealthy men marry up with trophy wives, and frequently there isn't much love involved. So when those marriages go to hell, these ex-wives can clean up. There were only single women and single men in the complexes around me, including myself. There was only one family in our complex, and the rest were divorced women and some divorced men. This narrative begins when a group of women moved in on the same floor as me. They had an IKEA bookcase and other large items in a van or SUV when I noticed them moving in. One of the tall blonde women was very attractive, while the other one was okay. My kids were with me at the time, but I offered to help the women. They accepted my offer, and I assisted them by carrying one of the bookcases by myself up to their apartment. I then set it up in their apartment. These young women lived in that apartment for a full year, and whenever I saw them after that, they never said a word to me. Okay, they never even so much as looked towards me. They handled the rest, asked me for assistance with another item, and I did the same thing, taking it upstairs, and they told me thank you, and that was the end of it. I assumed they moved in with the rest of their furniture another time. They ignored me completely. I thought that to be really disrespectful, but it also made me realize that once you've served your purpose and are no longer required, you are nothing to them. At this point, if you were anything to them, they would go to great lengths to destroy you, like in divorce court. The divorce culture example, divorce rape. But in this instance, I was nothing to them. I was just a neighbor that helped them out, but they didn't need anything from me any further. So what did they do? They didn't invite me over. For the strange thing is that they only stayed in this apartment for a year because they had to move out at some point. And unfortunately for them, they left while I was still at that apartment complex. One of the roommates had moved out while I was still there. I was just a neighbor who helped them out, but they didn't need anything else from me. So what did they do? They didn't invite me over for a glass of lemonade. They didn't hit on me. I believe she briefly lived alone, and as we probably could have predicted, they were unable to afford to do so. Without someone to rely on, they were unable to pay their rent in full, and as a result, this young woman had to relocate several times. I had Matt come up and down the stairs, and he saw her struggling with some boxes and furniture to get it from the floor that we lived on down into the sub. Do you think that I offered any assistance? Hell no. I just watched her struggle and walked by her quite a few times without offering to lift a finger or offer any assistance at all. I did this because I felt that this lesson needed to be taught. Women need to understand that whenever they receive things from men who are giving them things, tangible things, or offering them aid, there needs to be a level of respect for men. This lesson needs to be learned. It isn't a disrespect for women or a disrespect to females in general. It was unfortunate that she had to move that entire apartment by herself. I didn't see many helpers helping her. However, these things happen to us far too frequently, and society guilts us into always helping the damsel in distress. We should do that for humanity. But what we're seeing is an extreme level of disrespect. They don't want to acknowledge our existence until it's convenient for them. I've observed this happening in nightclubs where men are being ignored by women and not acknowledged until all of a sudden the group wants to take a photo, and there you are hovering over them like a bee over honey, and they see you standing there gawking at them, and they say, "Oh look, hey, could you take a picture of all of men?" And until people start doing that for men, then I have believed that when men should not rush to assist women that ultimately are using them. They make them appear smaller, sexier, and helpless, as if you are the only person who can save them. Instead of asking the alpha male wolves in the corner that they intend to go home with to take a photo of them, they ask the simp, or the person they think is a simp, to do so. After you take the photo, they will no longer acknowledge you or say thank you, and they will then move on. They don't ask you to participate. Once you've taken that picture, you can shoo off, and then we'll give Chad and Tyrone the rest of our attention the rest of the night. Those are just examples of what I'm talking about. Don't let them use you until they acknowledge you, and acknowledge you and respect you. You maintain your distance, you maintain your form, you keep your focus. Now, that's just a short video, guys. If you have any questions, please comment down here.